Me, the Silent Neighbours, Part 4. The door creaked open slowly, as if the building itself was reluctant to reveal its secrets. A wave of cold air rushed out from the cracks, and I felt a chill settle deep into my bones. The light that had been spilling from beneath the door was now gone. The hallway outside had grown unnervingly dark, the shadows stretching unnaturally long. I stepped forward, hesitant but unable to resist. My hand trembled as I reached for the doorknob, feeling the metal cold beneath my fingertips. The door swung wide with little more than a whisper. Inside, the room was exactly the same as I had left it, empty. But this time the air felt different, stifling, as if the space itself was alive. I hesitated, my heart pounding. The shadows in the corners seemed darker than usual. I turned the flashlight on and scanned the room. The chair was still there, sitting in the centre, facing the wall, as though it had never been touched. The gouges in the floorboards were fresh, though. The stains on the wooden planks had grown thicker, darker, almost as if they were alive. But that wasn't what made my stomach churn. What made my run cold was the figure standing in the corner of the room. It was tall, its back to me, motionless. A man. A woman. It didn't matter. The figure was wrong. It was impossible to make out any real features. Its outline flickered, shifting, as though it was caught between states of being. I froze, unable to move, unable to breathe. It felt like the room had compressed around me and I was trapped inside a vacuum. And then the scraping began again. This time, it was different. It was slow, deliberate, and it sounded like something was being dragged toward me. The figure in the corner twitched. I could feel its attention now, like it was aware of my presence. I backed away, my legs trembling, but the scraping sound was relentless. It was coming from below, then to my left, then above me. Every direction. The figure in the corner took a step toward me, the sound of its movement like the shifting of something much heavier than its form suggested. I didn't know what I was doing. My body was on autopilot. I turned and ran, my breath ragged, my feet slapping the floor, as I stumbled back into the hallway. But the scraping followed. I reached my apartment, slammed the door behind me and locked it, panting. The room felt suffocating now. The walls seemed too close, too heavy. I rushed to the window, but there was nothing outside, just a dark city street devoid of movement. The scraping stopped, and for a brief moment there was silence. Then came the tapping again. Faint at first, but growing louder, as if something was trying to reach me, to get my attention. I covered my ears. I couldn't take it anymore. This place, this building, it was alive. It had a history, one I wasn't supposed to know. One that hadn't just involved tenants passing in and out. No, the building was a living thing, feeding on the people who came to stay. I sat on the floor, my back pressed against the wall, trying to steady my breathing. My mind raced, and it felt like the very walls were pressing in on me. Then I remembered something. The landlord's words. The cryptic comment I found online. I got up shakily and grabbed my phone, scouring the forums again for any more information. There had to be something. Anything. I found another post, buried deep within a discussion thread about the building's history. It was vague, but it mentioned something I hadn't noticed before. They say the building gets new tenants every few years, but sometimes they don't leave. They become part of the walls. My pulse quickened. The words settled like ice in my veins. I kept reading. When the tenants don't leave, the building grows. The walls shift. The rooms change. And sometimes, it lets them come back. Come back. I had a sickening realization. I wasn't just living in an old building. I was living in something that had claimed the lives of people who had lived here before me. The scraping, the tapping, the flickering shadows in the corners of my room. They weren't noises, they were signs. My phone buzzed in my hand, breaking my concentration. It was a message from an unknown number. You're not alone. They're waiting for you. I dropped the phone, my hands trembling uncontrollably. In the reflection of the glass, there were figures standing behind me. There was no one behind me, but there were eyes. Follow for more stories coming soon.